Now, as you watch that video and watch the Big Dream Gathering, it might be tempting to think that the Big Dream Gathering started as some altruistic thing, like something that I just wanted to do to help the world. And it kind of became that, but just to be totally honest and transparent with you, it actually was started out of an act of total and utter desperation. I kid you not, total and utter desperation. See, back in 2006, my wife and I got a business idea. And we kind of got confirmation that we were supposed to move forward on it, and we got excited about it and started to walk it out. And maybe you've experienced this a little bit, where all of a sudden you get excited about an idea, your adrenaline's pumping, and you feel like you can run through a cement wall, right? Maybe, who's felt that at least once? Maybe you're even feeling that today a little bit. That's where we were at. And man, doors were flying open. We were meeting people. Things were happening. It was coming together. And then over a period of about a month, everything just started to crumble. It was a game idea, actually. And one of the things was we had a designer working on this game. And apparently they were developing the game. We were really close to a final design. And their computer crashed. Yeah, they didn't back up their files. I'm a big fan of backing up files. I'm a bigger fan of backing up files now, right? So all of a sudden, all that work was just gone. We had a manufacturer lined up for our game. Thought everything was going great. The relationship was working out fantastic. And then all of a sudden, that relationship started to crumble. And then the big one was we started to run out of money. We started to run out of the money that we thought it was going to take to make this dream happen. I don't know if any of you have ever been there, but that's where we were at. And I can remember, I'll never forget, it was on a Saturday morning and I was sitting in my office and I was exhausted. I was scared. I was even embarrassed. I didn't want the world to know, but I was like, this is not what I signed up for. You know, this felt like a big dream. This felt like something that I was really supposed to do. And then all of a sudden, nothing seemed to be happening. It seemed like we were running in mud. And then all of a sudden, I was thinking about it. More accurately, I was praying about it. And I got hit with this thought. We were trying to do it by ourselves. We were trying to do it by ourselves. And all of a sudden, I started to think, And then I started to think, I wonder who could help us with this dream. And I started to think of some friends. And then I started to think, I wonder what their dreams are. I wonder if we could help them with their dreams. I wonder what would happen there. Maybe they could help us with ours. We could help them with theirs. And all of a sudden, this idea started to cascade in my head of inviting our friends to our house to try to write down some dreams, post them on the walls, and just see if we could help each other out. Now, this is proof positive that I married up. And if any of you, I am from Des Moines, so some of you know my wife, you know it's true. But this is how I know I'm married up. One of the very reasons I know I'm married up, because we're out of time, we're out of options, and we're out of money. And this guy's solution, throw a party. But my wife heard it. She's like, kind of gave me one of those, what could it hurt? What could it hurt? Maybe you've given that sign to your husband or your spouse at some point. What could it hurt? And that's where we were at. Now, this is kind of where it starts around permission. Because the first permission that I almost had to give myself was I had to admit I didn't have it all together. I had to admit I needed some help. We needed some help. And we needed it fast. So on that Saturday morning, I'll never forget it, I sat down on my computer, I pulled up an email. In the subject line, Big Dream Gathering. Because I knew Big Dream Committee just wouldn't fly. Big Dream Gathering, that sounds festive, that sounds energetic. Oh, well, let's just try it. And so I quickly typed out an email to friends. Now, we needed help right away, so I made it for this coming Tuesday night, the immediate Tuesday night within just a few days. And I started to kind of hammer out this idea. I put 30 people on that email, and I hit send. And I thought, this will be really interesting to see what happens. But you know what happened? Tuesday night, we opened up our doors, and of those 30 people, now think about it, weird idea and short notice, 29 of them showed up. Now, we are Lutherans, and we made it potluck, and I know that helped our numbers. If there's casserole and pizza, people will show up. But it was really interesting to see, because not only did they show up, but they started to get this idea. Some of our friends, boom, they were like some of you on that spectrum we talked about earlier. They didn't need a second to think about it. They took as many dream sheets as they could. They started writing those things down and posting them on the walls. Others needed to sit and think, or just kind of look at the walls. Look at those dreams that started to get posted, for inspiration, for ideas, and in some ways for permission. Because that's something else that we've noticed, is that when one person starts to dream, when one person starts to give themselves permission to dream, there's a ripple effect. Other people around them start to dream too. That one person giving themselves permission then results in a number of people giving permission. And what was cool was to just kind of watch this play out. And we did. We watched our friends, and I found out about some of my friends' dreams I didn't even know about. They found out about some of ours. And it was fun. It was amazing. It was inspiring to kind of see it play out. But I'm an early riser, and I go to bed early, so I turn into a tub of goo around 10 o'clock at night. Anybody else a morning person? Yeah. And so I was like, okay, about 10 o'clock. I'm like, okay, gang, time to wrap this up, time to go home. 2 friends stayed out on our front porch for an extra hour. I had to yell through the screen door, go home. Our neighbors are going to call the cops. Skyla's going to call the cops. Go home. But we thought we were done. But we were too tired to take the dream sheets down, so my wife and I went to bed. The next morning, my family's sitting, having breakfast together, dream sheets all over the wall, and I get a call from a friend that was there the night before. His name's Adam. He called, dude. Yeah? He's like, I'm already at work. I told everybody what we did last night, and they want to come to your house and post their dreams tonight. Is that okay? My friend kind of has a loud, annoying voice like I do, and so my wife could hear him. I didn't even have to ask. She gave me that look again like, what could it hurt? So the next night we had as many people, actually we had a few more, but we only knew about half of them. And it just kind of continued like that. Thursday night, total strangers just started showing up at our house. But it was just amazing to kind of see this thing happen. We meant it was supposed to happen for a couple of hours on a Tuesday night. But because people gave themselves permission to dream again, to give themselves permission to think, what if? Anything's possible, why not? Because we did that, it's supposed to be 2 hours on a Tuesday night, it actually went for a full week. That first big dream gathering went on for a full week. Absolutely amazing. I wonder if you'd been there, what would you have written down? What are some of those dreams, right? Well, but honestly, what's been more amazing is the big dream gatherings have continued. And we now get to do them all over the country. And we get to see all these dreams go up on the wall. Seeing people giving themselves permission to dream, but also giving themselves permission to help each other, to encourage each other, to open up possibilities. And that's what it's all about. And that's what we're going to get to do here in just a little bit. We're going to actually